Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Raymond Report. Today is Monday, March 18th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Cash Out Monday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you are using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Raymond Report Sports Betting System. Come and learn about value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and we use a strict money management system. Come and learn more about the Raymond Report today at atsstats.com. All right, at the top of the show, I welcome you to a Cash Out Monday. And the reason why I call it a Cash Out Monday, because I always like to ask our clients, when was the last time you cashed out at your sportsbook? And if you're looking at me with the deers in headlight look and you say, I don't know, well then we gotta revisit that and see, okay, what am I doing something wrong here? I keep, for some reason, a lot of people just keep putting money into the sports books, and they don't know that the goal and purpose is to take money out, right? And at the end of the day, if you're not taking money out, then you got to hit the reset button and say, okay, what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong, and how can I learn more about sports handicapping so I become more successful and have more fun doing it, right? If you're going to do this, you got to have fun doing it. And today I thought, you know what, today's a good day to go and talk about the, not the law of average theory, but you know, a lot of times I come on these shows and I talk about the markets, right? So if you're stepping up to the plate today and you're ready to make a bet, do you know exactly what you're getting yourself into? Now, in the Raymond Report, we talk about value, we talk about the percentage play and the performance cycles. And number 3 is really important to me, the performance cycles, because if you're looking at NBA today for March 18th, you got to know, okay, who's who in the zoo, right? What type of teams do I have here? And in the Raymond Report, as you know, I always classify teams as A, B, and C type teams. A type teams are teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. In fact, let me go to the Raymond Report. It's written right here. Anytime you go to the Raymond Report, you'll see there's a, I'll go to the Cleveland game because that's the game we're going to talk about today. In fact, I thought I had it up already. 1 second there. Let me just move some of this stuff around. Where's that Cleveland game? There it is. All right, so if you scroll right down, so we talk about the A-type teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. Those teams are above average teams with high public confidence, right? Because they're the top dogs, they have all the best players, but they come with low rewards sometimes. And it's high risk, right? You're going to lay like minus on the money line, a lot of money. B-type teams, 50 to 59.9. Those are average teams, the moderate teams, right? Public confidence is moderate and medium rewards. And then the C-type teams, those are teams below 500. Those are teams with low public confidence, but they have high rewards, right? But if you look at the Raymond Report, and this is what I mean, when you got to know what's in the market, what you're getting yourself involved in, and think about this. Let's say you like the A-type teams, those teams with a 60 or higher win percentage. Well, they're probably a favorite, and they win 70% of the time and 29.9% of the time. So if you like underdogs, just know that they're winning less than 30% of the time. So, but you know, I'm talking money line. If I'm talking the against the point spread factor, 52.3 for the favorites, 47.8 for the underdog. So pretty much a coin flip right there, right? But which one do you like better? Do you like the 70% on the favorite, or do you like the 52.3, right? Obviously, we know what the answer is right there. Now, here's one thing I want to show you. I picked this game today, guys, for an example, is the game between the Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. Right now, if you look at the record of both these teams, and let me go to my strength of schedule. I got everything all dialed up here, so we save you guys some time. Cleveland, on the season, 42-25. They have a winning percentage of 62.6%. Now, when you look at the macro environment, right? Favorites win 70% of the time. Now, is Cleveland a favorite in every game? No, but I'm going to show you some numbers on Cleveland and some numbers on Indiana. Indiana, 38-31. 55 win percentage. Now, why is the team that has a 55 win percentage today against a team that has a 62.6 win percentage the favorite? Well, obviously you got to look at the Raymond Report and you say, what's that number? Let me go back to the Raymond Report, and I think it's number 4. Hey, where's the tip sheet, Ron? There it is. All right, what's the number 4 rule of the Raymond Report fundamentals? Player availability. When I look at the lineup tonight, okay, I see something like Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, Strauss. They're out tonight. So there's a factor. But how many points are those players worth when it comes to player availability? And this is why I say all the time, I don't care who's injured, who's available to play, right? And how did the bookmakers come up with that number with the available players to play? And the best ability is availability, right? And let's see what the numbers are telling us today for March 18th. All right, so we know for a fact All right, so that Cleveland's 62.6%, and Indiana is a 55.07%. So Indiana's a B-type team, and the Cavaliers are an A-type team, right? A against a B. B, again, remember, 50 to 59.9, and A is 60 and above. Now, what cycle are these guys in? And when you look at the cycles, I like to look at, is this team, and you go back to the Raymond report, performance cycles, right? Are they in a bear cycle, a bullish cycle, a neutral cycle? And if I look at the Raymond report, both these teams looks like they're in a neutral cycle. So neutral cycle just means that this team here is either 3-4 or 4-3 in their last 7 games. So playing win one, lose one type thing, right? So when I look inside the numbers, and I'm going to go to the value now. Number one rule, I look for value. So let's take a look at Indiana at home against those A-type teams, right? So Indiana's at home, and normally the line against the A-type teams, they're minus 2.8, but now there's minus 7. So we got a 5-point difference here when it comes to the value. So, and what about the Cleveland Cavaliers as an underdog against a B-type team? So you got to go on the road against B-type teams. They're normally 3.7, and they're getting 7. So they're getting a lot of value tonight. But again, you got to ask yourself, okay, the players that are playing tonight, do they reflect the numbers that we're really betting into, right? So one of the other tools I have here, it's called the parity value strength of schedule. So let me go show you where I get this. So if you're a member of ATS, go to your dashboard, go to PVI SOS in the betting tools, and it's going to take you to, I'll just run it through it right here so you can see NBA, and then go to the game between the Pacers and the Cavaliers. Now the total's 244.5, minus 7 is the line. So it's going to take you to this page right here. All right, I thought I had a better view, a viewing window here. Okay, this one's pretty good. All right, so what we're looking at is Indiana is the home team, minus 7 against Cleveland. Cleveland is the A team. So we got Indiana B neutral. So let's take a look when Indiana's a home team against A-type teams. We're talking about teams, so teams like Minnesota, Philadelphia when they were A-type team, Denver, Boston, Milwaukee, Clippers, Boston, Milwaukee. Now they're at home to these teams. What was the average line for the team if they were a favorite? It was minus 1.5. Now they're minus 7. So you see the big jump in difference in the line right there. And for the Cavaliers, let's scroll down. No, that's still Indiana. All right, so the Cavaliers, we got to go to the other one here. So let me go back to this. Let me back this up here. All right, so let's go Cleveland. Where's Cleveland? Let's go to Cleveland. So Cleveland's on the road against Indiana, an A-type team. So let's scroll down to the road section right here. So when Cleveland's on the road against a B-type team, so let's go back here. So the B-type teams that they played against is Philadelphia. Philadelphia, depending when you got them, and at the beginning of the year when they first started, like, let's say a team started 0-2 or whatever, they were classified as whatever that team's record was at that date. That's what we classify them, right? So Philadelphia, actually it was February, so Philadelphia did go through a hiccup. Orlando, Miami, Sacramento, Oklahoma in November. Oklahoma in November, not in Oklahoma right now. Indiana and New York, right? So these are all B-type teams, teams with 50 to 59.9 win percentage. And what's the average line on the underdog? 3.25. So, hey, you know what? We got a big difference when it comes to the line. And when the Cavaliers are on the road against those B-type teams, the average score does favor the Cavaliers. 112 to 110 is normally the final, and normally the total's 221 on average. I like to look at averages to see and then compare to the date that we're getting involved in. So today, March 18th. So 221.6 is the average line on the bookmakers. Remember, perception versus reality, right? But look at the 112 to 110 is the average final score. When you take all these final scores, that is the average. 3 and 4 against the point spread, 3 and 4 straight up, 4 and 3 to the over under. And if I look at the other team right now, let's go to let me see here. Okay, Indiana. So when Indiana's at home against those A-type teams, the average line as a favorite is minus 1.5, so really overvalued. The average total is 241.22. And what's the total in tonight's game? The total tonight is 224, so you can see big difference when it comes to the total. And the average score is 123 to 122 for the road team. So you can see the road team, that means Indiana, anytime they're at home, they're a little bit overvalued. However, they're 5-3-1 against the point spread, 5-4. And this is why I like to bet on money line favorites. So At the end of the day, -7 is way too much money for me to on a money line. It's way too high for me to look at the money line and the point spread, because all the numbers are telling me right now that Cleveland should be the value play here. And let me just go back to the run report. So let me go to the dashboard. Let me go to NBA, and now I'm going to go inside the tip sheet. Now that I know a lot about the value and how they do against certain type teams. So now I'm looking at Cleveland against the Pacers, -7. And now I go to the technicals, right? How does Indiana do at home against those 8-type teams? 5-7, 5-6-1, 7-5 to the over/under. At home this season, they're 21-14, 19-14-2 against the point spread, 22-13 to the over. And for Cleveland, 20-12. 16-15-1 ATS, 12-20, however, to the under. And when they travel to Indiana, they're 4-6 straight up, 4-5-1 against the point spread, and 4-6 to the over/under. And they're playing on 1 day's rest. They're +6.5 to 9-point road underdog. And let me see what their last game was. A loss. So they lost 117 to 103 against Houston. And then the Pacers, they won 121 to 100 again, so they won by 21. And then they lost by 14. I'm going to show you another angle that I like to look at when I do my handicapping, and I'm collecting all the indicators that I need. And then I go back to the closer, right? I look at my database to see from a system point of view if I have a good maybe a good lean or a good indication that I got a confidence on this play right here. So home favorites this year, Indiana 13-10. 126 to 118 is the final. So you can see it's by 8. So that's a little bit concerning right there. But a lot of points scored, a lot of points. And for Cleveland as a road underdog, 7-7 on the season, 111 to 110. So they keep it close. And you know what? I kind of like the fact we're getting value. Now I'm going to go to my database to see if we do have the numbers from a macro environment to support this pick. So I'm going to go to NBA. And we got -7, right? So -7 is the line on tonight's game. Let me double check here. So let me go NBA. I think it was -7 and 221, I think was I said is the total. So -224. Okay, 224.5 -7. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to the database. I got too many windows open right here. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to go home favorites of. So we're -7 tonight. So we're going to go home favorites of 6.5 to 9, and they're coming off a 14-point. Was it a loss? I can't remember if I said loss or win. I think it was a loss. Okay, so yeah, they won, but the Cleveland lost. All right, so they're coming off a 20 or more point win. So they're coming off a 20 or more point win. So right, where's my 20? There it is. All right, so they're coming off a 20 or more point win, and I'm going to look at the current season. I always like to look in the current season because I like to stay within the same players, right? 13-4 straight up. So this is when any NBA team's a -6.5 to 9-point home favorite, and they're coming off a 20 or more point win. 13-4 straight up, 6-11 to the under, 6-11 to the under, and then 13-4 straight up. And then the point spread is 9-7-1. Still a winning record, which is good. Now let's take a look at the other side of the coin, right? Let's go to the underdog. So any road underdogs of 6.5 to 9, right? Because we got +7 tonight. And they're coming off a 14-point loss. So 12 to 14-point loss. Just want to confirm here. Yeah, to the Houston Rockets. Who loses to the Rockets? Okay. Well, obviously it's Cleveland. All right. Come on, Ron. There we go. Let's go. Survey says, wow, look at that. 1-7 straight up. So they're 1-7, 3-5, and then 4-4 to the point spread. So at the end of the day, do I have anything that really is convincing me that Cleveland plus the numbers is the way to go? Even though my forecast, when I look at the forecast here, it says 105 to 115. So I got a 10-point difference. I don't like laying points, right? Even though we know that 70% of the favorites do win on the season, but they only cover 50 some percent, right? What we said on the strength of schedule. So not the strength, the SBI. So let's go back to the environment, right? Let's see what we're getting ourselves into the NBA. And we can see in the last in the year to date, 70.2. Last 7 days, 74.3. So if I know that favorites are winning 74.3% straight up and they're covering 59.3, favorites are in a bullish market right now. So all indicators to me right now, and I'm a favorites type guy. Like, it's like, to me, it's like buying stock, right? Buying property. I want value in what I'm buying. I don't want to buy something that I know I only got a 29% chance of winning at the end of the day if I'm going to support that team. My belief system is if I'm going to pick a team, I got to believe they can win against the point spread, but more importantly, they can win the game straight up. I don't want to go in the game and just, I don't care if you lose, just cover the spread. That's not a positive way of thinking, and that's not a way of being confident to your selection, right? Then the other side of the coin is if you don't make a case for the straight up or the ATS, then you come back to the over-under, right? So when I look at the over-unders tonight, I look at the 7-day average, 58.7. So we're in a bearish market right now. And think of this is all about the bookmakers' line adjustment to the markets, right? So right now they're trying to really balance the book the last 7 days, and you can see that the perception versus reality. The reality is telling us 58.7% of the games are coming under, and we did have we had one line on the was it this one that it was 4-4, right? And then we had 6 and 11 to the under in the other way. So if I really had to make a lean, I don't have a pick on this play. I don't like the numbers here, especially with the totals differences I showed you at the beginning. I think the under is the way to go. I did like Cleveland, but the numbers don't support it. So at the end of the day, to make a long story short, I know there's a joke in there somewhere, but I think the under is where you want to lean in this one here tonight between the Cavaliers and the Pacers. All right. There you have it. That's a little sports betting 101 on the Raymond Report, how I look for value percentage play, and I try to look at performance cycles. And again, always know what you're getting yourself involved to. Look at the markets. Listen to what the markets are telling you, because at the end of the day, when you look at the outcomes at the end of the night, and you ever say to yourself, like, man, how did I not know that? How did I not see that? I didn't know there were 70% or 74% the last 7 days that favorites were just clobbering the underdogs, right? So always know what you're getting yourself involved to when you're betting into the markets, and a bullish market when it comes to point spread and favorites. So if you look at this chart and you're saying to yourself, okay, what are the markets in the NBA the last 7 days? Well, favorites are winning straight up and against the point spread in a bullish market, 74.3% and 59.3. And you're wondering, okay, what's your range, Ron? Here's my range for a bullish market. Any team that's winning 57.2% to 100, that's bullish. Any team that's 42.8 to 57.1, which is neutral when you think the 3-4, 4-3 straight up winners. And anything under 42.7, yeah, they're, as Joe Namath would say, struggling. Struggling. All right, folks, there you have it. The Raymond Report today for March 18. A little bit long-winded, but at the end of the day, class is in session, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this today. I'll see you back tomorrow with another edition of the Raymond Report. Cheers.